Today we explore one of the most fearsome figures in ancient mythology. A goddess born from divine rage, known for war, plague, and punishment. Her name is Sekhmet. Feared by mortals and respected by gods, Sekhmet stands at the edge of mercy and annihilation. Her story begins not with kindness, but with blood. In the time of ancient Egypt, the sun god Ra ruled both gods and men. But humanity grew arrogant. They mocked the divine order, defied the laws of Ma'at, and conspired against Ra himself. The god watched in silence until his patience broke. To punish mankind, Ra tore out his eye and cast it to earth. From that eye, Sekhmet was born, not as a daughter, but as a weapon. She took the form of a lioness, radiant with solar fire and burned with divine fury. Sekhmet descended upon the world with one purpose: to cleanse it. She did not speak. She did not negotiate. She hunted. Villages fell silent. Fields turned red. The Nile ran thick with blood. No prayer could reach her. No offering could slow her. She was not a goddess of war. She was war itself. The gods watched in horror. What began as punishment had become annihilation. Sekhmet's rage was boundless. She did not stop when the guilty were dead. She did not stop when the innocent begged. She did not stop at all. Ra, now terrified of his own creation, devised a trick. He ordered thousands of jugs of beer to be dyed red with pomegranate and hematite until it looked like blood. Under cover of night, the gods poured it across the battlefield. When dawn came, Sekhmet saw the red flood and believed it was the blood of her victims. She drank and drank and drank. The beer dulled her fury. Her eyes dimmed. Her breath slowed. She collapsed in sleep. The slaughter ended. When Sekhmet awoke, the battlefield was silent. Her fury had passed, but the devastation remained. The gods had stopped her, not through strength, but through trickery. She had not been defeated. She had been redirected. In later traditions, Sekhmet's role began to shift. Though still feared as a force of destruction, she was also invoked for healing. Her priests were trained in medicine and ritual purification. Statues of Sekhmet were placed in temples to absorb illness and protect against plague. She became a guardian as well as a punisher. Some myths link her to Hathor, suggesting a transformation from wrath to joy. Others maintain her dual nature, capable of both mercy and violence, depending on what the balance of the world required. What makes Sekhmet terrifying is not just the scale of her wrath, but the fact that it was justified. Humanity had defied the gods. She was sent to restore order. But once unleashed, her judgment exceeded its purpose. Even Ra, her creator, feared what she had become. Sekhmet remains one of the most complex figures in Egyptian mythology. She is a reminder that divine power is not always benevolent, and that once a force is set in motion, it may not stop when expected. Sekhmet was more than a myth. She was a living force in ancient Egyptian society. Her presence shaped medicine, warfare, ritual, and kingship. Though feared for her destructive power, she was also revered as a guardian of balance and healing. Her cult was centered in Memphis, where she was worshipped alongside Ptah and Nefertem. Together they formed a triad of creation, healing, and renewal. Sekhmet's priests were trained in both religious rites and medical practice. They performed daily rituals to appease her and prevent disease. In times of plague, her name was invoked to drive out illness. Temples dedicated to Sekhmet often housed hundreds of statues, one for each day of the year. These statues were believed to absorb sickness and protect the land. Offerings were made to keep her wrath at bay, and festivals were held to honor her power. Sekhmet was also tied to the authority of the pharaoh. She was seen as the fire that burned in the king's enemies, the force that cleared the path of victory. Her favor was essential in battle, and her image was carried into war to ensure divine support. Despite her violent origin, Sekhmet became a symbol of precision and control. She punished when necessary, healed when called upon, and reminded all who worshipped her that power must be respected. Her dual nature, destroyer and protector, made her one of the most complex and enduring figures in Egyptian belief. Sekhmet's image has endured for millennia, and in modern media, she continues to appear as a symbol of divine fury and power. Though not always portrayed with strict mythological accuracy, her core traits, lioness strength, destructive force, and healing duality, remain central. In comics, Sekhmet has appeared in both mainstream and independent titles. In Marvel Comics, she is part of the Heliopolitan pantheon, sometimes depicted as a rival to Bast, the panther goddess of Wakanda. In this version, Sekhmet is portrayed as a violent, bloodthirsty deity, often in conflict with other gods. Valiant Comics also features Sekhmet in its Dr. Mirage series, where she appears as a supernatural force tied to ancient Egyptian lore. In video games, Sekhmet has been featured in titles like Smite, where she is a playable character with abilities rooted in her mythic powers. She also appears in Assassin's Creed Origins, where players can encounter her in a dreamlike boss battle during the Trial of the Gods event. These portrayals emphasize her role as a fearsome warrior and divine punisher. In literature and spiritual circles, Sekhmet is often invoked as a symbol of protection and healing. Her dual nature continues to resonate, especially in works that explore ancient mythology through modern lenses. She appears in contemporary books on Egyptian lore and goddess traditions, where her complexity is emphasized. While her appearances are often stylized or adapted, Sekhmet's mythic essence remains intact. Whether as a cosmic force in comics, a boss in a video game, or a symbol in modern ritual, she continues to embody the terrifying beauty of divine power. Sekhmet doesn't whisper, she roars. Born from divine fury, feared by gods and mortals alike, she remains a presence that cannot be ignored. Somewhere beyond the veil of order, she still watches, crowned in flame, waiting. If this myth stayed with you, share it with someone who listens for silence after the storm. Like the video, subscribe for more stories from the margins of legend, and comment below. Which wrathful deity should we summon next? Join our Patreon for early access, behind-the-scenes breakdowns, and to see your name in future episodes as a supporter. Check out the affiliate links below for curated books and resources tied to this myth. And if you'd like to help expand our mythic library, you can order directly from our registry. Thanks for watching. More gods, more monsters, more myth, coming soon.